Hey y'all, it's your girl Charity B, and welcome to the I'm Enough Mastering Self Love podcast. This podcast was designed for both men and women who are in the process or wanting to start their self love journey. Here we discuss many topics related to self love that promotes healthy habits that will help support your mental and emotional health, boost self confidence, and self worth. So get ready, this is something you don't want to miss. If you like what you hear in this episode, feel free to DM me and leave comments on my Instagram page at iam.enoughmsl. The podcast is also available on YouTube. The link will be in my description box as well as on my Instagram page. Hey y'all, welcome back to the I'm Enough Mastering Self Love podcast. It's your girl, Charity B. Oh my gosh, y'all. Y'all don't understand how long I have been yearning to say that intro. I miss it so much. I miss you guys so much as well. I hope that all has been well with you, and you're still been able to practice your self love and doing your self love daily activities and just pouring back to yourself. I hope that did not stop. If so, it's okay. Life be happening and priorities change. I definitely understand that. But I'm back in full effect to help you get back on the right track on your self love journey. If you are new here, welcome to the I'm Enough Mastering Self Love podcast. I'm glad you decided to take that step in the right direction to learn how to love yourself on a deeper level. If you are a returning guest, thank you so much for tuning in again. And I hope each and every one of you hear something today that helps you better yourself in the long run. And you can use it in your everyday life to further your progress in learning how to love yourself on a deeper level. With that being said, I guess I'll give you just a brief update of where I've been. Like I said, for me, priorities have changed. I have been working. Been, if you're not aware, a couple months ago, February, I started another job. I was in training for the most part, but now we're back down to the nitty gritty. I'm out of training, so I have a lot of responsibilities and all the moving parts, and I'm just trying to adjust. But I did not forget about you guys. My work room and podcast room are in the same area, and I kept looking in my little podcast area, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I miss podcasting, and I definitely had some words of wisdom I wanted to share with y'all. I just didn't have the time to do so. So I was over the weekend, Labor Day weekend. I was sitting on my couch on Monday and I was like, let me try to write something out. All of a sudden, pen hit the paper and I just started going. And I was like, today I'm going to record. Okay, no matter what, I'm going to get behind this mic and record after work. And here I am, y'all. I was dedicated and here I am. I made it. But overall, I've been great. I have been working on myself. I've been pouring back into myself. I have been healing. I have been trying to overcome obstacles, and no, it's not easy. It's its own roller coaster, but we're here. I'm grateful. God brought me this far. God is continuing to bring me through, and in the end, like I always say, I know I have blessings waiting on me on the other side of this constant roller coaster. I'm just blessed and happy to be here despite everything that I've experienced in life or in this experience in the past year. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get right into this content. So if you are listening, please get your blanket, get your water, get your tea, get your coffee, whatever it is that you have to be comfortable, that will make you comfortable, and snuggle up and lock in. Get a pen and paper as well, because you're going to need it. And I want to welcome you to Sacred Seats, Rewriting the Guest List. Now, why are we talking about sacred seats, or what does that even mean? So, sacred seats regards is regarding to your personal table. This is involves the people or the habits or the things that we allow in our personal close tight circle, family, friends, associates, co-workers that we keep close. Those are the things, the people we're talking about. Now, Why are we calling it sacred seats? Or why is it important that we treat our seats sacred? Well, I have the answer for you. The people you allow at your table shapes and influence everything. Your mindset, your decisions, and the direction of your life. So if any of the people who are sitting at your personal table are not right for you, it can cause a whole bunch of destruction. It can even hinder you in not being able to move further in where you're supposed to be. And now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't have no more time to waste. I have a specific idea of what the future Charity is supposed to look like, the things she's supposed to have, the life she's supposed to be living. And I have no more time to waste. I am 27 years old, 3 years away from 30. Honestly, my birthday is actually in a couple months in January. I'm about to be 28. I'm gonna be down to 2 years. I have no more time to waste to having people who don't no longer serve me and what I am trying to do and the person I'm be wanting to become. So it's important to me, and I hope it's important to you to surround yourself with individuals who support your growth, your goals, offer valuable insights, add value to you, provide safety and trust, and the people that you influence you to be better. Also wanted to mention, I feel as though people I've had different discussions about what adding value means. And it's not what you can do for me. It's not how you can provide. It's not about showing up. It's more so what can you do for me that helps me grow as a person and betters me as a person. Same thing, vice versa. How do I help you grow as a person? Is it through the way I love, the way I care about you, or is it the way that you know something that I don't know? Do you teach me how to manage my money correctly? Do you teach me how to love unconditionally? It's things that I can't buy with money or provide myself. Yeah, you can go learn it yourself, but if you have these people in your, your tight knit circle, you're expecting to add value to each other to help grow and support you to be a better version of yourself. So paying my bills and taking me here and there and being a man or providing that that's not adding value for real, because without you in my life I can still pay my bills. I can still get to point A and point B. So adding value is more so how can we teach each other or add some additional knowledge to each other's life to help us be better and evolve into the person we're supposed to be. So going back to why, it's important that you treat your seats at your personal table as sacred, because when you think about it like this, when you give someone access to your table, you're giving them access to your energy, your trust, your most vulnerable thoughts and goals you're trying to achieve. For instance, people like I had a goal or I had an idea or God gave me an idea to do this and this to get to my next step, and I open my mouth too soon to the wrong people, that's a consequence of, not having the right people at my personal table. So since we're opening the door to that, we're going to talk about what are the consequences of having the wrong people at at your table. So some consequences of having the wrong people at your table is social discomfort. This could be, you feel like you have to tiptoe around somebody and you can't say how you feel about a certain thing, or you can't discuss certain things to that person because they might feel some type of way. And who wants to do that? That's not, you're in my space. Why would I want to make myself feel uncomfortable or can't be the person that I am because it causes you discomfort? Another way is it causes disruption and unbalancing dynamics. So strained relationships, problems within your relationship. because you're not either not supposed to be with that person or not supposed to be around that person, but you're trying to force something. Not even just because you want to force something or because you need them. It could be out of the fact that you're a caring person and you try to you're known to be someone that fights for your relationships or friendships because you care, which is okay. It's okay to, try. But I always say, look, if you keep trying and you try different methods and there's nothing that has a different outcome, that means we shouldn't be here. Maybe we can reconvene a little bit later on in life when we get it together, or maybe not. Some things are just not meant to work out. But that unbalanced and that dynamics or disruption, that's for those who like to keep those people around who mean no good. It also can lead to poor decision making. That person thought and mindset that you have at your table, or providing the negative feedback or not providing feedback that helps you grow into being a better person, can help can influence you to make decisions that are not healthy or wise for you and your goals or the path that you're trying to be on. It also can drain your energy and cause exhaustion. Imagine being around people who constantly take, or they're not bringing any positive energy to your circle. It can be draining. It can also increase anxiety and depression, cause low self esteem and self doubt. You begin to doubt your mindset or if you're thinking correctly because they're so busy inputting on what they think and what believe their beliefs on you. It can cause stress, distorted perception of how relationships are or how they can be. For instance, if you're dating someone that's not right for you, if they're acting selfishly or moving selfishly about the relationship, if they cheat or do anything that breaks the trust, it can cause you to have a different perception of relationships. And I can relate off of um experience, if I've been through a crazy relationship and it was betrayal in there. And I must admit, sometimes here and there, it creates like that perception of how I view relationships or how I view being vulnerable. I'm already not a vulnerable person as it is. I feel as though I had a good partner in my younger years, which taught me how to love unconditionally. Um, and taught me that it was okay to love and be vulnerable a bit. So I thought that that was okay and people were supposed to value the type of love I give because that person did, but that doesn't happen with everybody, especially if they're emotionally incompetent. So I guess me expecting the same thing from the great guy, from someone who just never experienced that, it changes your outlook on future relationships, if that makes sense. Your body remembers the feeling this felt when you were vulnerable or when you decided to be vulnerable. And it's something you have to unlearn or try to keep talking to yourself daily and pouring yourself to steer or try to knock out those negative thoughts about how you view or your perception of relationships. It also can hinder personal growth. This is one that I definitely can relate to. And I couldn't see it, but spiritually, when things don't align, man, or when that person is doing some crazy stuff, their karma is already happening during the relationship or friendship or whatever it is, because they do such bad things or scandalous things. You being in that person energy or they being in your personal close circle can hinder your personal growth. And I definitely can see that because as soon as I left my last relationship, I guarantee you not, like maybe the next couple of days, things started looking up for me. And I'm not saying they were the cause of a lot of things, but I'm just saying, like, hey, the proof is in the pudding. Once you left, I was doing just fine and life was looking a little bit better. I started feeling better. So, yeah, they can hinder your growth because you have the wrong people there. Negative influences can hold you back, and it's just proof. Like, it just goes to say, this is how I think about it now. There are just some doors that some people will never or will that were never or never will be worthy of walking through, that you are entitled to walk through. And if you keep letting them hang on your coattails and keep trying to take them with you through the door, you will never get there. Ain't that something? That's some crazy stuff. Like, you probably got some blessings out there that you can't even touch. And you probably praying to God every day, God, please do this. And it won't happen because you have somebody at your table that either is envious of you, jealous, or they're just were never worthy enough to walk through the same doors that you are. Child, you better you better stop blocking your blessings and let them people off them coattails. Cut them all off. Snip snip. What K Camp said, I don't know if y'all listen to rap, but he said it ain't nothing to cut them off. So cut them on off. Get them scissors and cut them off quickly so you can receive your blessings. But anyways, some other consequences is sabotage, success, surrounding basically just surrounding yourself by the wrong people can derail your dreams, create years of unnecessary struggle, and who wants to deal with that? And unfortunately, some people have to we have been victim of because we were surrounded by the wrong things or the wrong people or the being in the wrong environment, it did create those unnecessary struggles that for years that we shouldn't have never experienced. So when you get somebody and they trying to tell you, you young folks for sure, young, I'm talking about young folks, like I'm not still in my 20s, but you younger kids, especially early 20s, 18 to early 20s, listen when people that are actually older than you, at least 25 and up, maybe 26 and up. Listen to what they say because it's never to try to tell you what to do. It's just, I would hate to see you go through the same thing I went through because I didn't listen or because I didn't know. And somebody is taking the opportunity to tell you or to inform you, look, baby, that ain't the way. Consider it. Okay. It's for your own good because it's nothing like some people are able to come about whatever they've been through and some people are not. It's nothing like not getting the help or having someone to tell you don't do this or consider that. And then you get in deep and down into something and you can't find your way out. Or you going through hell and hot water just to get out. So that's just while we over here trying to consider who at our sacred seats and who don't need to be there. So with that being said, it's self-audit time. We need to do a little audit to see if we have the right people in our at our personal table. So here are some questions you need to ask yourself about your table. This is where you get that pen and paper out. First question you to ask: do I trust this person with my truth and know that they will protect it? Do they bring honesty even when it's uncomfortable? When they correct me, is it to build me or to break me? And if you need to go a little bit deeper on that question, is the advice judgmental? Does the feedback cause you to like feel shame? Or does it feel as though this person is actually trying to help me be better because they want me to be better? Another question is, do they challenge me to grow? Do they celebrate my wins without envy? Do they offer solutions instead of just feeding problems to me? Am I the emotional dumpster? Do I feel as this is a one-way street where that person just continues to talk to me about what they're going through? Or can I do the same thing? Is this relationship a two-way street? Or am I always the one pouring out? That one is a good one because there's always people that try to take, and don't know how to give. And if you are this person that you're not sure if you are the one that's taking all the time, consider this. It's not about how you think you're a good family member, friend, or partner. It's about how does that person view you? Are you pouring into them the way that they want to be poured into? Same thing with you. Are you pouring into the people that are pouring into you? Are you giving them the same amount of water to help them grow? We can't have one-sided growth in a any type of friendship, relationship, any ship. It just won't work. Somebody's gonna always feel overused. Another question you can ask yourself: do they bring peace or drama to my life? Do they always call you about some mess? What Tiffany doing or what Charlene doing at church? Like, do they always bring some mess or drama to your life? Or when you always with them and out, do they always cause problems versus bring you joy and laughter or positive feelings? When you're around them, do you be like, oh my gosh, this girl again? Oh my god, this dude again? Like, do you feel that way? Also, do they respect my values, even if they don't fully share them? And then the final gut check question to ask during your self audit time is: if I had to rebuild my life tomorrow, would I want this person at my table? If you're unsure about that answer, think of it like this. Go based off your feelings and your gut. If you think about this person not being in your life or not being as close to you as they are now, will you be comfortable? Will you be at peace? Or would you yearn for them because you know that they add value to you? These are some things that you can ask yourself to see if the people at your table are really the ones that need to be at your table. Now, sometimes it's not the people at your table. You could be thinking like, hey, that's the person's the problem, or Becky the problem, or Henry the problem. Sometimes, and people don't consider this because they're so caught up in they thinking they're doing just the right thing when it comes to them. But that may not always be the case. You need to sit back, do some self-reflection, and think, could I be causing disruption at my own table? Could I be the drama? Am I the drama? Am I the issue? Do I need to do some self adjustment when it comes to my personal table? Sometimes it's not about who's at the table, but about whether we are showing up in ways that cause disruption at our own table. So we need to do a self awareness check with ourselves. We need to audit ourselves as well and our emotions and how we're handling things. Some questions you can ask yourself: am I demanding loyalty from others while not giving it back? Hold yourself accountable now. Do I expect honesty but struggle to be transparent with myself or be transparent to the people at my table? Do I dismiss perspectives that don't match mine? Do I take constructive criticism well? We can't be hypocrites out here expecting people to are expecting certain loyalty or expecting certain characteristic traits that we don't give. And sometimes we think we give them, but we don't. This is why you do the self-awareness check. If somebody or multiple people are saying the same thing that you do or how you act in certain situations, maybe it's time to just chill out for a second, think instead of just moving our mouths just to talk, and think about what we are putting out. Then we need to check our own energy and influence. Do I bring stress, negativity or drama into the space, into my personal table? Do I bring those negative feelings or influences? Do people leave my presence feeling drained instead of built up? Am I more focused on being right than on being supportive? Sometimes people just be moving their mouth. A lot of us are can be guilty of that. Sometimes just not good to just open your mouth and just go. Sometimes you gotta think and be considerate and see if you're actually being helpful versus hurtful. And it's not about what you think is right. Like people think that all the time. No, you can't help me. And I say this all the time. You can't help me how you think I should be helped. That is not effective if I don't agree. If I'm telling you, hey, I want to be treated like this, I want to be cared like this, then why not do it? Or you're not going to get that out of me. For an example, and this is, I say this all the time, I'm a very different type of person. Like, I don't ask for much, I don't complain, I really be chilling, y'all. But my thing is, if there's conflict, I already don't like conflict. But my thing is this: if there is conflict and we have an issue and we're clearly not getting a solution, I'm very solution based. I will not sit there and argue with you. I'm just not that person. But if I'm telling you, hey, I need some space, and you just keep on going, eventually I'm gonna tell you I don't care. I'm going to get to the point where I'm like, okay, well, I don't care about what you're talking about because I told you to give me space and you're not giving me space. And it's not when you want to talk, it's we both have to be in agreement to talk. But if we're not seeing eye to eye, it's pointless to me to keep talking, you know? And it's like, I just need some space. If you give me my space in the loaded time that I want to um get my thoughts together, because sometimes for me it don't even be the fact that I don't want to talk about it, it's just the fact that I need some time to understand how I feel. I'm not an emotional person, so like it could be an issue between us. Immediately, I will not know how I feel. I'll probably be like, okay, like, I guess. And maybe that's an Aquarius thing in me of me or whatever. And I know some of y'all probably smacking y'all teeth because y'all probably don't understand. But hey, that's just how I am. At least I have done the work to adjust myself to know that I need to take a step back versus being very nonchalant in the moment. Okay. So cut me some slack. But that's just one of my things. Like I tell my friends all the time, give me some space and then we can revisit it when I have a logical standpoint of how we can find a solution. Honestly, I think my way is the best because I don't want to sit here and argue and we're drained and we're not getting anywhere and then this is pointless. Give me my space. Let me come back, and when I'll tell you, we can talk about it logically. And 9 times out of 10, my way works so much better, anyways. Your way, we arguing for like 6 hours. My way, we having a logical conversation, found a solution in 30 minutes. Come on now, you know? But, anyways, that just go back to say, like, you have to help people how they need to be helped, how they prefer to be helped. It's like, their way of loving, or I forgot what they call it, like their love language. It's like that. You can't love me how you want to love me if it's not effective. Another area that you can check is, do you only show up when you need something, or do you follow through on your commitments to others? Is the relationship one-sided with you, or taking more, are you taking more than you give? So are you able to reciprocate the energy, or the time, effort, and energy that that person is giving? Are you reliable? Those are some things that you need to consider as well when it comes to uh seeing if you're not the problem. Are you able to reciprocate? How is your energy and what do you provide? How do you, quote unquote, add value? When looking at growth and vision, you can also ask yourself, do you resist feedback or push away people who challenge you to grow? Um, this goes into understanding what like minded people, being around like minded people and being around right people. We're going to go ahead and describe the difference between the two in a minute. Are you someone who likes to hold on to things that make you comfortable, or don't like to do the things that make you uncomfortable in order to grow? Which is causing you to pull others back from their progress because you're not willing to do the most uncomfortable things to grow. Or do your insecurities or fears limit the people you're sitting around? It could be, and people don't realize that sometimes, that your fears and your insecurities, or your not willingness to change, can hinder people around you. And it cannot be intentional. It doesn't have to be intentional. Sometimes, man, because you're so close to certain people, it rubs off. It rubs off. And that's where it comes into play about being around like-minded or right people. Like-minded people are those that think like you. They have the same opinions, habits, beliefs, or interests. They often agree with you makes you feel more comfortable. You feel it causes you comfort because it's like, okay, you agree with what I'm doing or how I'm handling the situation. They don't really give you no pushback. They make those conversations comfortable that need to be uncomfortable. So they 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 have limited resistance. Okay, so they don't challenge you barely. That's like, for instance, hey, I want to eat healthy, right? And I'm telling my friend, oh, I need to eat healthy, da 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 da. Or like, say, for instance, for me, example, I want to eat healthy, change the way I eat, and because I have PCOS and I want to reverse my PCOS. And my friend is like, well, girl, I get what you're saying and you should do it. Then there's one day I come up, girl, I just want some chicken from churches, or I just want a piece of cake. And she's like, well, girl, you can get a cheat day. And we do it all the time. Okay. So I think that's just normal. You think, yeah, you can get a cheat day. But that's like being around like-minded people. They're thinking how you're thinking. I'm thinking, okay, I want a cheat day. I'm asking you so that you can agree that I need a cheat day. And what are you going to do with like-minded people? They're going to agree that you need a cheat day. When you're around the right people, um, they don't just think like you. They bring what you need, not what you want. They challenge you to grow, even when it feels uncomfortable. And that's the thing about growth. It's not supposed to be comfortable. Any type of change to be better requires uncomfortability. When you're around the right people, they celebrate your wins with no envy. Not saying that like-minded people do this, like they envy you, but they celebrate your wins without being jealous, and they check you when you are slipping. They may not always agree with you, but they always want the best for you. So they add perspective, that balance and accountability that you need in order to be better. It's like your therapist or like your dietitian. For me, it's like my dietitian. I see a dietitian now. And I told her, I said, I just want somebody to hold me accountable and to make sure, like, hey, Charity, yeah, I get this, but you said you wanted to do this. So why are you not making that effort or putting that the best foot forward to make that effort to change, even when it feels uncomfortable or when it feels like you're too tired to eat better, which is normal. You're going to be tired, but be tired in your new body that you worked hard for versus be tired and still be where we're at 2 years ago. You see what I'm saying? It just goes to show when you are around like-minded people, you risk um the fact that you're supported, but you're not being stretched enough. You're not being held accountable. You're not getting that balance that you need to be better. You're still going to be in the same place because you're around like-minded people. You need to get around the right people, those that are unfamiliar, those that are different, that kind of think different from you. I am one of the people that I attract a little bit towards those who are not like me in so many areas because you're showing me a different perspective. And if that's surrounding myself around people that I want to not be like, but I want to have characteristic traits like them, um, that would help me want to move in a direction to be different or to move different or to obtain the habits that I want to eventually have myself, or the characteristic traits that I want to have myself or that I see my future self having. And that's the difference of being around, like-minded and right people. And based off of that little comparison we just did, here's a little podcast nugget that I want you to keep in mind. The right people who clap for you ain't always the ones that want to help you climb to where you need to be or to reach that goal. Like-minded people make you feel good, but the right people will make you better. And I don't know about y'all, but I want to be better. So I'm gonna go find me the right people and leave them like-minded people alone. Yeah, it's good to have you around, but if you hindering me, you don't have to get up from this table. So we gonna make a seat for the right-minded people and leave these like-minded people on the outside of the table looking in, I guess. They're gonna have to see the growth, I guess. Maybe actually step a few, you're gonna stay 50 feet away from my table. Because I don't need you to scratch and drop a little dust on my table and that negativity starts to sprout on in my area. So yeah, stay over there. Stay over there. But um some signs I know, since now we know we talked about What are the consequences of having the wrong people at your table? Are some things you can ask yourself to evaluate who is at your table, if they're right for your table, or if you need to evaluate yourself to make sure you're leading your table correctly. Um, you need to also notice the signs when your table might start to be off, or it might be off. Some signs could be like chronic drama. It's gossip or chaos, or the energy is just, it's not there. The energy feels draining. You don't even want to come sit at the table. You actually would prefer to go to your room and eat your meal inside your in your bedroom versus sitting at the table with the people that you have near you. It also could be like the relationships feel one sided. You just feel like, hey, I'm someone that always shows up 1,000%, but when it comes to me, I don't feel as though I'm getting the same thing back. Um, and it's kind of those hard conversations, but we're gonna get there. I'm not gonna just jump the gun. I'm gonna mention the other two. It also could be like you're feeling unsupported in personal growth or life vision. It could be your own contributions to your table. Do you bring value to your table, or are you bringing chaos to your own table? Those are just some signs that it might be off. And just because your table is off, it doesn't mean that, oh, because maybe one out of the four things that I mentioned, if this is happening, that person has to be removed from my table. Some things might just cause a little for revision, a little conversation, a little communication. Doesn't mean just, hey, get up from my table. You don't, is one sided, or get it from my table. It's too much drama, chaos. Energy can be transferred. Maybe that person is going through something and it's rubbing off. They can't be show up 100%. Maybe they got their own things going on. But his life happens. It's sometimes it could be like a little conversation. Hey, I feel as though this relationship is one-sided. I'm not getting the same things you used to provide at the beginning of this friendship or this relationship, and we need to sit down and talk about it to see how we can make a difference and actually put pen to paper and foot to action and make those changes in order to better our relationship. So it's just those, and it can be uncomfortable. I have been someone that I had to have those hard conversations with, and like I said, I don't really like conflict. Um, and I don't like uneasiness and stuff, but sometimes those conversations need to be had. And this was maybe over a year back. I felt when I had went through what I went through, losing my mom, I it changed my brain chemistry. Um and I always said this, and I always, even before all of that happened, I feel like I was always maybe a step ahead of the people I was around. And I don't know if it's because my mom was a little bit more mature, or that I think of things not just from one side or two sides. I try to think of every different angle, and I try to think ahead of what the outcome would be for each angle. Um, and it allows me to be able to select the right path that I'm supposed to select that doesn't cause me any pain, trauma, or hindrance to my life. Um, so I don't know. I had felt like there was just an unbalance in my close knit circle, and I had went through a lot, and I felt that when you go through stuff, it shows you what you could or not be getting. And I had a conversation with my friends, and I was just like, I just feel like if we don't get it together, man, I don't know how long I will be in this circle. And I definitely think that it was needed to say I had got to my last end. Love my friends down. They're very supportive, but in that instance, I just felt as though I needed to surround myself with other people that I think added value to me, or more value. Not saying they didn't add value, but the situation at hand, it just something that needs to be changed. So we had a conversation that it was long overdue. We hadn't had a long conversation or like a real conversation as far as how we can add value to each other as friends. You grow with some people and you're close to those people. You've been around them for so long, it's just like, okay, this is what's comfortable. But at some point in your growth process, and I think everybody experiences it at some point, it's like, okay, well, I need to see change, or I need to see better, or this is just not going to work. But at the end, after having that conversation, my friends definitely put their best foot forward and made the changes that I think they should have made in order for our friendship to continue to prosper and feel as though we're all watering each other. For me, can't speak on everybody else's behalf. We haven't had a conversation since, but I know life things be going on too, so you're probably not even thinking about that. But for me, on my behalf, I feel as though things definitely changed for what I was looking for. So I say have those hard conversations, man, even when if it's with your partner, especially if it's with your significant other, okay? Especially if it's with your family. Friends can go home to their house, unless you talk to them every day. But family and significant others, that's somebody you talk to probably every day. If you don't live with them, they just all up in your face. And it doesn't matter if you try to keep avoiding a situation, it's going to keep popping up, especially if it's destined or it needs to happen. It's something important that needs to change, or this dynamic won't work anymore. Especially with family, sometimes they want to take and borrow because they think we blood. But just because we blood, that don't mean that you have to overuse me for your advantage, because we were put on this earth and deemed family. Because you can make a family of your own, and you can make your own family. Your friends could be more of a family than your own family. So don't let that hinder you from bettering your environment, or changing your environment for the better, or your energy, or protecting your energy. Yeah, you can still love somebody and not be around them. If it makes you happier, or it contributes to you better, then do it. Okay, don't ask me because I'm gonna tell you to do it. Just do it. Okay. Now, with all that being said, I hope that just off this little conversation, or even this little, it's not even a conversation because I'm the only one talking, but just off this episode, or just off the information I've already discussed so far, I hope that you're able to really sit back and think, or it makes you think, I need to do some consideration. It's time for a self audit. Some things have been off, and I think it's time to do some reevaluation about my own personal table. If my seats are sacred, or I need to start treating my seats like as if they're sacred, to better my environment, my energy, or if it helps my mindset, my decisions in the direction of my life, I know I need to put my foot down and do this audit, then do it. Some things I just want you to take away from this episode, or to take away as a whole, and what you need to consider. Your table is limited. There are only so many chairs. This means that every seat matters. So we just can't have any and everybody around just because we care about them. Not everybody that we care about cares about us in the same manner, and doesn't want us to see us do better. And I promise you, if you keep having these people at your table, whether it's your mom, sister, brother, cousin, best friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, um, regular friend, close friends, co-workers that are friends, or just co-workers, if you keep having these people around that don't want to see you be your very best, you're never going to get there. And like I said, these are their blessings out there that you're supposed to be receiving, that you're never going to get, because you surround yourself with people that are not the right people. They're only like-minded people. Okay? Treat those seats sacred, or treating those seats sacred, ensures you don't hand influence time or access to someone who has not earned the right to be there. Why would I want to give somebody access to everything I worked hard for? What time that I can't give back, energy that I can't get back to someone who hasn't even earned the right to give their input. It's not about being harsh, it's about being intentional. I want to surround myself around people who consider me or that is intentional with me. I love myself. I can't speak for everybody else, but my friends will tell you Charity has self confidence and self worth that's on a whole nother level. I value myself. I put myself on a pedestal. It don't matter what nobody did to me. I always tell y'all that nothing that happened to me, nobody else think. I know what I bring to a table as a woman. I know what characteristics I have that betters other people or that betters life or anybody that comes around me. I know who I am. I am who I think I am. Therefore, I know what I deserve, with that being said. And I deserve nothing but the best. So I refuse, me as a person, to center myself around anybody that doesn't want to see me win or treats me as though they don't want to see me win. Because there's a difference. People be saying, I care about you, or you gonna always have place in my heart. Whole time their actions say something different. You treated me like how you would treat yourself, sir or ma'am. You treated me how you think about yourself. So you don't care about me. Not seriously or not for real. So you got to get away from my table. Vamoose. And then also thinking about protecting your table isn't about filtering others out only that don't benefit um your circle or your table. It's about checking yourself as well. Cuz sometimes the seat we need to evaluate most carefully is our own. So keep that in mind that it doesn't have to be just the people around you. It could be you. You could be the drama. Remembering that iron sharpens iron. I can't have a dull knife trying to sharpen a sharp knife. The dull knife will be the only knife that gets sharpened, and that sharp knife will become dull. And we will not be able to use a dull knife to cut through anything. That bad knife will barely be made for it. And in the end, I need you to remember that the voices that are closer to you or that's closest to you often echo the loudest inside of you. So if you're getting somebody who keeps talking in your ear, oh, you'll never get that far. Oh, you'll never do that. Girl, I don't think you can do that. You're going to believe that you can't do it. You're going to think that you're not worthy of meeting that goal or doing that or making it happen. If you get Sonya or whoever out your ear and you start just thinking about your own self or your own opinions or what you think you can do or believe you can do it, if you put your mind to it and you get that devil demon out of your ear, you're going to be able to do it. All you need to do is remove whoever is talking to you and trying to belittle you or make you feel less than that you're not able to achieve what you know you can. And to remember that it's easier to make something that is clean dirty versus making something dirty clean. If I have a pile of clothes that have nothing but a whole bunch of dirt on it and I put a clean shirt in there, that shirt is going to get dirty before it gets clean. You cannot surround yourself around people that you feel comfortable with or that you feel like this is my comfort place because they can relate to me. You're never going to progress or become the woman or man that you're wanting to be or that you see yourself being. You will never have those characteristic traits. You'll never be able to really accomplish the best version of yourself if we stay around like minded people. Okay. So, with all this being said, and with all those main points that I have went over with you again that you need to keep in mind, please let's take a look at our table. Time is limited. Stop wasting time. The more time you waste, the more that longer those people stay at your table, the more chaos will be going on in your life. Put your foot down and have those hard conversations, and let's protect our sacred seats. Okay? All right, y'all. Next time y'all hear from me, y'all better have reevaluated them seats now. I'm just playing. But no, for real. I just want y'all to be better, and I want y'all to evolve into the people that you're supposed to be. You know, each and every one of you, you deserve it. If you're listening in, I know you want to be better. I know you want better because you're listening in trying to better yourself. So do yourself a favor and actually put in the work because nobody else is going to do it for you. By the time you look up, especially my young adults, by the time you look up, you're almost 30 because you wasted so much time on that boy or that girl or that young lady or young man, let's say that did not add no value to you and did not promote you to be a better version of yourself. And while you're looking up, you're going to be at your late 20s. Like, okay, my 20s are for me. And it's never too late because I am there. My 20s are for me and I'm having a lovely time. I am the happiest I have been in years single. If we can prevent all this, if we can put a, we can put our best foot forward, then why not do it while you're young so you can avoid all of this extra stuff. Um, Beginning me, I'm different, so don't worry about me. I'm just playing. But yeah, no, I evolved, and a lot of things I went through is because I had to make me a better person. And child, she is coming. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I definitely look forward to talking to you guys again and giving you some great content. I don't know what's next, but we're gonna have to up it a little bit since we talked about some sacred seats today. Um, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications, as well as follow my Instagram page at iam.enoughmsl. Okay, go ahead and hit that follow button. If you want to DM me because there was something that you heard that you can relate to, or if you just want to let me know anything about the podcast, doesn't have to particularly be about this episode, please feel free to DM me. I love, love, love when you guys reach out to me. It makes my heart warm. My cold, small heart the size of a Grinch. Just playing. So that is definitely one of the things that makes my heart grow. So if you feel like you want to reach out to me and let me know anything pertaining to your self love journey or just getting to know you, please reach out. Looking forward to that. And just a side note before I let you go, I have a big project I have been working on for this platform. Um, Maybe 2 years ago, I had started. I had stopped, but like I'm telling you, I don't know what happened Labor Day weekend. I put my head in the Bible. I had read me a scripture, took some notes, I prayed, I reached out, cried to God, and all of a sudden I got right back on it. And yesterday and today, even while I was at work, don't tell my job, but I was working on a project. So I am I am dedicating myself to finish it by the end of the year. It may not be ready by the end of the year, but hold me to it, y'all. End of the year, the project should be done. I actually have been putting a lot of work into it, a lot of thought into it, and I am definitely motivated to finish it. I'm determined. So look out for that. Keep that in mind. I'll mention it down the road. I'll put it on my calendar so I won't forget. But it was a pleasure as always, y'all. Keep loving on yourself. Keep protecting your energy. Keep pouring into yourself and protecting those sacred seats. All right, y'all. All right. Talk to you next time. Bye.